Hi and welcome to a new video. Today we will have a look at Intel's low-end CPU lineup for the desktop platform, specifically their Celeron G3900. This CPU is based on the Skylake architecture. It is an LGA 1151 CPU running at 2.8 GHz, has 2 cores and 2 threads, and a TDP of only 51 watts. This is not Intel's latest and greatest Celeron CPU, but it is only 4 or 5% slower than the G3950, which is one of the fastest Celerons right now. You can buy the G3900 for as cheap as 30 or 35 pounds or dollars. But does it worth buying if you want to play games? A couple of years ago, might be more than that, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, you didn't mention Celeron and gaming in the same sentence. But it changed over the years. You can buy a cheap H110 motherboard, buy this CPU, put some memory and GPU in it and start gaming. You can upgrade your CPU later on, so it is a cheap budget build. But does it worth spending your money on one of these Celeron CPUs, or just worth saving for some better CPU? I'm testing exactly that today. I'm using a H110 motherboard from MSI, 2x 4GB of DDR4 memory and the GTX 750 Ti. I didn't want to use a better GPU for a few reasons. First, I didn't think the GPU will bottleneck the CPU, and for the budget build and 1080p gaming, this card looks like a reasonable choice. Like always, I ran a few synthetic benchmarks and tried some games as well. So let's see those numbers with some music. The G3900 is not as bad as I thought it will be. It definitely bottlenecks the GPU in some games that requires more CPU power, like Battlefield 1. But for lighter gaming like League of Legends or Counter-Strike, it is doing a very good job. So is it worth it? I mean, if you are on a very tight budget and you really can't afford even a Pentium CPU, then yes, but don't expect a lot from it. Even the old Q8300 had a higher score in the CINEBENCH R15 CPU benchmark. It will be good for everyday tasks like web browsing, watching YouTube, watching movies, etc. Some light gaming, even some AAA titles if you don't mind the lower frame rate. Probably you can resell the CPU with a very little loss, considering the price is so low, so you can't really lose too much on it. So that's a good thing. The Celerons are definitely performing much better than 7 or 8 years ago, but it is still Intel's low-end family of CPUs. If only the CPU is holding you back from your new build, then go for it. For a few months it will do the job, until you can afford something better. I hope you liked the video and found it useful. Please give it a like or a dislike if you didn't like it. Thank you for watching and see you next time.